Hello and welcome to the Narc Alert, the channel where we look at YouTubers and others to see if they demonstrate any traits that fall within the spectrum of narcissistic personality disorder or NPD. These videos are for fun and entertainment purposes only, strictly my opinion, and remember, please don't send any snark to our possible narcs. So key points to remember: messy fun and not a diagnosis. Hello my lovely alerts and welcome back to the Narc Alert. Well, in today's video, we're going to take a riveting exploration into the minds of three charismatic yet controversial figures, each a self-proclaimed master of their own universe. Today we delve into the fascinating realms of narcissism with a spotlight on Kody Brown, Pastor Kenneth Copeland, and James Saroka. Brace yourselves for a roller coaster ride through the ego-driven landscapes of these three individuals as we attempt to unravel the complexities that make them who they are. First on our journey is Kody Brown, the charismatic patriarch of the Sister Wives reality TV series. As the leader of a polygamous family, Brown's life is a public spectacle of plural relationships and intricate family dynamics. Yet, beneath the surface lies a man whose desire for validation and control often takes center stage. Join us as we peel back the layers of Kody Brown's world, exploring the blurred lines between self-interest and the pursuit of a utopian family structure. The Brown family first gained national attention in 2010 with the premiere of the reality TV show Sister Wives, which followed the lives of Kody Brown and his 4 wives and their 18 children. The Brown family are members of the Apostolic United Brethren, a Mormon fundamentalist sect that practices polygamy. Kody Brown is the patriarch of the Brown family. He was born in 1969 and raised in a polygamous family. Throughout the series, viewers have seen the ups and downs of the Browns family's unconventional lifestyle, including the challenges of maintaining multiple marriages, navigating jealousy and insecurity, and dealing with legal and social backlash. However, in 1990, Kody married his first wife, Mary Barber, and then later married Janelle, Christine, and finally Robin, making him legally married to 4 women. Kody has a total of 18 children with his wives, and the family's lifestyle of polygamy has been a central focus of the show. Throughout the series, Kody has been portrayed as the leader of the family and has been involved in many of the family's major decisions, including where they should live, how they should handle legal issues related to polygamy, and who he should spend time with. He has also been shown to have a grandiose sense of self-importance and a need for admiration, as well as a lack of empathy for others. Kody's behavior and actions have sparked controversy and criticism, with some viewers accusing him of being emotionally abusive toward his wives and showing favoritism towards certain wives and children. His behavior has also raised questions about the ethical and legal implications of polygamy. The first trait that we're going to look at in reference to Kody is grandiosity. Grandiosity, an exaggerated sense of self-importance. People with traits of NPD often have an inflated sense of their own importance, and they may believe that they are special or unique. They may also require excessive admiration and have a sense of entitlement. Kody has exhibited this trait in many ways throughout the show, such as when he referred to himself as a rock star and talked about how he has a unique relationship with each of his wives. In one example from season 14, episode 7, he expressed a desire for his family to have a Kody Brown Day in Flagstaff, Arizona, where they moved to escape persecution for their polygamous lifestyle. He also refers to himself frequently as the king of his household.
I'm going to be the head of my household again, and so I'm not going to be circumvented in that. If everybody's willing to conform to patriarchy again, I guess, because I've been fighting to make everybody happy.
Kody's inflated sense of self-importance leads him to tell his wives he is reasserting the patriarchy, also known as do what I say, with a side of condescension.
My bitterness is out of trying to do that. and not having the family that I had thought about and designed.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd signed up for patriarchy, but...
Because eventually I'm going to lead. And many times I'm going to lead against their desires, my wife's desires. I'm going to lead to places they might not want to go, ideas they don't want to do, things they don't want to be involved, but I'm going to lead.
Struggling to understand or care about the feelings of others is another trait of NPD, lack of empathy. They may be preoccupied with their own needs and desires and disregard the feelings of those around them. Cody has demonstrated a lack of empathy toward his wives on multiple occasions, including when he refused to listen to their concerns about moving to Flagstaff and how it would impact their family.
I do not find it to be a wonderful place to live.
I just don't know anywhere else we're going to get as open-minded reception.
I have loved the freedom that we've had in Las Vegas.
That's what I don't want to give up. Our kids are going to go into a school where they could be potentially freaks again.
This meeting has them thinking, and now they're going to go, well, wait, if I could pick where I was going to live, where would it be? That's what I want. I want them thinking.
He does not care how his wives feel. He's far more interested in manipulating them to seeing things his way.
Surgery was at a time and a situation where it would have required that I'm 6 or 8 weeks away from home. I was gone for 4 days for Brian's wedding.
Guess how many's in there?
18?
You're such a dork.
Why? How many are in there? Oh, our years of marriage.
So now do you know how many would be in there?
Nope. How many years have we been married?
Are you serious?
Cody Brown, like so many with traits of NPD, seems to have an intense need for admiration, and he may go to great lengths to receive it. He may get angry or upset if he feels he's not receiving enough attention or praise. He has shown this in various ways.
All the sacrifices, and I'm asking everybody else to simply meet that level of sacrifice so that the family can exist. My boys think that they're fine and start going out and continuing social life while I'm making these humongous sacrifices. Blah, 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 blah. Just vomit more bullshit, vomit more bullshit. God, I'm just sick of it. Well, that's why he wants me back now, is because he's lonely, and all summer long he didn't need me, but he was going and doing this stuff and I didn't even know about it. I'm frankly tired of their criticism of my standards. And I've already sacrificed so much for 7 months. And what I've tried to do is I've tried to lead by example by doing this at this level and let everybody else choose what they do, but then actually have the consequences. And it looks to me like nobody really cares if I'm at home.
Cody created insane rules for COVID and stayed away from all but one wife's home. He was very upset that the family didn't comply with his orders.
They don't care to answer to each other or to me. But I'm still answering to them. Once again, more polygamy, double standard.
Polygamy is so unfair to the men.
Because I can't leave my boys out hanging out.
They're adults. Bye-bye. Listen, I've been sympathetic to this situation with Janelle and her kids.
He is the father of all of Janelle's children. They are not just her kids.
I feel like I've had higher standards all my life, and I'm just trying this expectation that nobody else can even fall into. Like it's just ridiculous.
Kody Brown has a sense of entitlement, believing that he deserves special treatment and privileges. He often disregards rules and laws that he doesn't agree with, such as polygamy laws, and expects to be exempt from the consequences of his actions. In the first season, Cody described himself as a freedom fighter for polygamy, and later he declares that he should be allowed to have as many wives as he wants.
So we left the state kind of in the dark of night. So once we landed in Las Vegas and things had settled, we sued the state of Utah, basically saying, look, this law is unfair. We won. So for a year, we were decriminalized.
So the state of Utah appealed our lawsuit that we had won. They overturned it, and then they doubled down with the new law, HB 99.
Basically what it was going to do was kind of revise that law that was passed a few years ago.
This law would make it so law-abiding families made up of consenting adults would no longer be considered felons.
Yeah, not to be kind of condescending about it, but that's very sophomoric attitude that they have. I'm sort of blown away.
It comes as no surprise that a narcissist isn't simply fighting for what is right, but puts down their opponent, diminishes them, to build themselves up. Cody is so much more mature than the lawmakers.
And so why do they think that they can legislate it? It's naive.
Well, yeah, but it's not usually consenting adults that are victims in these situations. It's like if you've got a family and you have, we child brides and stuff like that, that's what they're concerned about. And that's real, and that's something they should be concerned about.
Narcissists are not concerned with others. They want what they want when they want it.
Like it was decriminalized, like it was just like a parking ticket. Would you be comfortable living in Utah?
I'm sorry, I'm not going.
Are you really asking that?
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if it was just like a parking ticket?
Cody feels entitled to return to Utah regardless of the consequences. His wives do not seem to share his feelings. The final trait of narcissistic personality disorder that we're going to look at for Kody Brown is arrogance. Cody displays a strong sense of arrogance, often believing that he is above others and their opinions. He disregards the opinions of his wives and frequently talks down to them.
We're going to be investors in that business. We're going to be the board of directors on it, and we get to tell you how to run it.
No, not at all. This is my baby. They don't care about the house.
Mary was looking for family support to buy a property that had been in her family for years to run a bed and breakfast. Cody sits like a king taking over a kingdom.
I want to support her. I want her to be happy with these things. And yet I just see an overwhelming amount of responsibility. And I'm not in a place where I have time to work harder. I asked Brian when I got here, he says, I don't know. These two want me to make it special. I drove here, like decrying marriage. And
Cody chose to officiate his friend's marriage over attending his child's surgery. He still cannot just put his ego and pride aside to do a good job for his friends. It is always about him.
Stutter through this thing and do the worst job ever. I'm only partly to blame. There's something gnawing on me. Am I supposed to stop you from doing this? Starts this, she's smiling. Hey, I'm leaving. That's because she's looking forward to a future.
And you were at that moment.
And I'm at that moment going, I screwed this up. I should have been more patriarchal.
One of Cody's wives had chosen to leave. Cody's response is the marriage would have stayed together had he been more in control.
She wouldn't be leaving if I would have just been the head of my family. And yes, they all made the commitment to run their will to mine. Christine has to be in the family, Janelle has to be in the family. And basically I said, if you want to be in the family, then you have to understand, I need you to run your will to mine. Are you okay with that? Because I'm going to be the head of the family. And they're like, yeah, me, pick me.
It goes without saying, referring to your wives, the women you love, the mothers of your children, as thirsty dogs, is arrogant.
My issue was I thought Christine was playing a game.
Help me understand that.
Manipulation, pouting, temper tantrums. I mean, just behavior things.
I'm not a child.
Yeah.
I'm your wife. You don't talk to me like that. My bad behavior, that's just insulting. Please, I'm an adult.
In the last year, things have not turned out well for Kody Brown. All but one of his wives, Robin, have left him. His children are on social media doing tell-alls and spilling all the tea.
Displeasure of knowing, and I would strongly advise against taking anything he says as fact.
But every time the children have cried on the show, it's been legit. So when Isabel cried about not being able to have dad there, that was legit. When Gabe cried about not being about dad not calling him on his birthday for his birthday,
that was a hard scene to watch. That was hard to watch. That was bad.
Gabe is still affected by it. Gabe is still so harshly affected.
Our journey wouldn't be complete without a glimpse into the world of Pastor Kenneth Copeland, a towering figure in the world of televangelism. With a commanding presence and a fervent following, Copeland has built an empire around his charismatic preaching. However, as we dig deeper, we uncover a man whose opulent lifestyle and questionable practices have raised eyebrows and sparked debates about the intersection of faith, wealth, and ego. Let's take a look.
How are you, sir? We'd just like to ask you about why you don't want to fly commercial. Why have you said that you won't fly commercial? You said that it's like getting into a tube with a bunch of demons. Why do you think that?
No, listen to me just a second. Not the people. The main reason is because of the need. If I flew commercial, I'd have to stop 65% of what I'm doing. That's really the main.
Narcissists do not like to answer pointed questions. They are not in control. As a result, they become defensive and deflect to get control back. They respond in a way that is most convenient for them in that moment.
Isn't it true that you want to fly commercial so that you can fly in luxury? How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
Well, for example, that's really none of your business, but...
Isn't it the business of your donors?
Listen, I paid. You kind of caught me off guard here, okay?
Certainly. Well, if you'd like to come out here, I'd like to give you a chance to catch your breath and have a conversation. We don't want to catch you off guard.
I love Inside Edition. You got to get this now. Hey, you listening to me? My wife thinks Inside Edition is, oh yeah. Now, thank you, Lord. Help me. Let me pray this thing.
Well, let me.
Stopping in this moment for a quick prayer is a fantastic way to regain control of the conversation, infer a moral high ground, and stall for time.
Let me just ask you a really simple question. A lot of people think it's unbecoming for a preacher to live a life of luxury and to fly around in private jets. What's your response to that?
Very simple. It takes a lot of money to do what we do. We have brought over 100, let's see, the latest figures just came out, 122 million people to the Lord Jesus Christ.
This is a vague, impossible to prove response. By contrast, though, there are approximately only 15 to 16 million practicing Judaism worldwide.
Let me give you another example. Last May, I was scheduled for Lagos, Nigeria. That's a long ways. I had a week off, and I was scheduled for Peru. And I prayed about it, and I thought, I'm not missing that dedication in Jerusalem. Without the airplane that we have, that I bought from Tyler Perry, and I didn't pay anywhere. And Tyler's one of the greatest guys. He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but.
He is the one with the poorly planned itinerary. It is his choice to take long flights, and the plane, at a rumored $3 million, was too cheap to resist. He calls it divine. We call it entitled.
Buy it.
Well, my question then, okay, all right, but I want to get to the demons, because people are very concerned about that comment.
Give me a chance here, Inside Edition. Okay. I love your eyes. And here's what happened. We flew in 21 days, 70 hours, 40,000 miles, touched 5 continents, and preached face-to-face personally with 125,000 people.
Do you ever use your private jets to go visit your vacation homes, for example?
Yes, I do.
The pastor has used his planes to fly to a vacation home in Colorado at least 143 times, according to Inside Edition. He even reportedly has his own airport next to his mansion in Texas.
Okay, again, getting back to the comment. You said that you don't like to fly commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
When a narcissist accuses you of lying, To project their own lies onto you, they protect their false sense of self. This is important because if their false sense of self is compromised, it jeopardizes their emotional stability.
We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers.
Distraction and diversion to regain control. None of this answers her question.
Do you think that people that fly commercial are demons?
If you give me a chance to talk, sweetheart, I'll explain this to you.
Gaslighting. She has given him the chance to answer the simple question at least 3 times, and he is diverted each time. He also seems to be using his physical position to tower over her as he demeans her with childlike pet names.
But it's a biblical thing. It's a spiritual thing. It doesn't have anything to do with people. People, I love people. Jesus loves people. But people get pushed in alcohol. Do you think that's a good place for a preacher to be and prepare to go preach to a lot of people? When somebody in there is dragging some woman down an aisle, it made me so mad to see that on television. I wanted to punch the guy out myself. I can't be doing that while I'm getting ready to preach.
So much word salad. He's reacting to a story he saw on the news and saying because it would cause him to be violent, he cannot fly commercial. Once again, we wreck everything for our narcs.
Can you explain what you meant by that term then? Just explain, because it's really simple. You said you didn't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. What did you mean?
Well, let me ask you.
So you just don't like to be around the sinful people or the hurtful people. Is that what you're saying?
Not the people, baby. Not the people. Back during the days that we couldn't do anything else, we had to travel commercial. When I went to Oral Roberts University, I flew for Oral Roberts. I'm a commercial pilot. So I spent a lot of time in airplanes.
You have how many planes?
We have the Gulfstream, and we still have our Citation 10. And then we have a little small airplane. But both those are the 2 ones that we use, and we use them all the time. And I spent a lot of time on airlines. But the main thing that happened was that wasn't the main reason. The main reason was I could no longer do what I called to do and be on the airlines. Besides that, I need my clothes when I get there.
And you have some fancy clothes. I mean, for a pastor, you are living a life of luxury. You've got great homes. You've got great planes. You drive in limos.
I'm a very wealthy man.
You're a very wealthy man.
Yes.
And humble, too.
Yeah. And some people would say that, is it appreciated?
May I add something to that? My wealth doesn't come from offerings alone.
You sell things, books and DVDs.
Yes, and I have a lot of natural gas on our property. Didn't know that, did you, babe?
Now I do.
Yeah, you do. Isn't that wonderful?
Well, I guess.
He educates her in a way that is condescending and then insists she agree to congratulate him on his good fortune. He is smart, he is wealthy, he is in control, and she is not going to trip him up.
Wonderful for you.
Back when, and I might add another thing too, we invest from, let's see, I don't know the exact number on last year yet, but it will run something in the neighborhood of 25 million in the poor. Can't do that and be broke.
This prosperity-focused ministry is so odd. He's now saying he can only help the poor if he is wealthy. His interpretation of wealth from the Bible is always simply financial.
So final question is, a lot of people maybe have a misunderstanding then about what you do in prosperity preaching. So the final question is this. To those critics that say that a preacher should not be living a life of luxury, what is your response to that?
They're wrong.
That's it?
That it's a misunderstanding of the Bible that if you go into the Old Covenant, do you think the Jewish people believe you should be broke?
Are you saying that Jewish people appreciate money more than... Really?
They believe in wealth.
This man is an entitled, selfish dinosaur who is clearly manipulating the Bible and the followers he has amassed through this bizarre theater of the pious.
Some people would find that offensive.
No, wait a minute now. I'm not talking about some people. I'm talking about the Bible. The blessing of Abraham. Abraham was extremely wealthy, and he had a covenant with God. And Abraham was a very, very wealthy man. Galatians chapter 3. If you belong to Christ, then are you Abraham's seed and heirs according to his promise. And his promise was great wealth.
The Bible also says that it's more difficult for a rich man to get into heaven than it is for a camel to get through the eye of a needle, correct?
The rest of the scripture. But he said, all things are possible with God.
The illusion goes something like this. God is good, Scripture is good and true. Therefore, the narcissist who claims to be godly and quotes Scripture is also good and right. And if you disagree, well, then you aren't opposing the narcissist. You are opposing God.
And he said, if you study the Greek behind that, it's trusting in wealth. When he said that, his disciples said they were astonished out of measure because they were wealthy men. They were astonished out of measure, saying, how can anyone be saved? He said, all things are possible.
Both of my grandfathers were preachers. They were both very poor. They lived simple, modest lives. They were extremely offended by men that made money like you do, preaching like you do. What would your response be to people that think that preachers shouldn't live this kind of a lifestyle? Folks like both my grandfathers.
And I understand that. And I love them with all my heart. It's your grandfathers that we're standing on their shoulders. They held up and they stood for it. Glory to God.
He knows he cannot discredit this woman's grandfather, so he will twist it all to appear as if he champions them, as if they would have somehow supported what he is doing. He claims they made his ministry possible. She must be enraged.
But when you go back to the Bible, it's full of wealth. And it's full of miracles and signs and wonders. And it's full of goodness. And it's full of meanness. It's just full of hell on earth. Those are the demons, not the people. I love the people.
Oh, he loves the people, unless they want to enjoy a nice cocktail on a flight that he is on.
Again, getting back to the... Sir, thank you so much for your time
What's your
today.
name?
Lisa Guerrero.
Lisa, God bless. Father, bless Lisa today. Thank you for her grandparents. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to know her and to her team. And I pray and I believe her piece will be successful. I love Inside Edition. I love the people on it. And it thrills me to get a chance to have my face on Inside Edition.
Thank you very much, Reverend. You have a nice day.
Yes.
And finally, probably the most heinous, disgusting one of the bunch, James Saroka. James is a man whose online presence has been nothing short of a spectacle. With a penchant for grandiosity and a belief in his own infallibility, Saroka has captivated audience with his unapologetic narcissism. From his controversial live streams to his extravagant claims of divine connection, Saroka is a modern-day enigma who leaves us questioning the boundaries between self-confidence and delusion.
and it's not. And if the way we write it down, if we change it, we can shift it. You and I can shift it together, and that's okay. But like if I say, you know, like, hey babe, can you write this down? Like just write down what I said right
like
down.
You said.
It's not.
I must
Hey,
have
I'm not
really
the
bad
paranoid one.
hearing.
No, it's not bad hearing. You had a lot of pride, and you wanted to write it down your way. Yeah, you do it all the time, and now we're having an argument on live stream. Because I'm not going to let it go because it just makes me look bad. I'd rather be an a-hole than be paranoid.
I'm going to trust you
I'd rather
on
look
this
paranoid. It's
because
not a matter of
on
trusting me. You're willing to admit it. We're not on screen. Are we going to do this live? I'm doing it live. I'll do it live. And that's not abuse. That is me being done, taking everyone else's crap, including yours. I am done.
Okay.
I will tell them what I'm going to tell you. Because I will break up with you.
Okay.
I am finished at being lied about, being lied to, being lied for by everyone else. I'm an honest guy, and I'm standing up for myself.
Allow me to introduce you to James Saroka. If you're sensitive to issues surrounding verbal, physical, or mental abuse, then this video probably isn't for you. Who is James Saroka? Well, if you asked James himself, he has quite a list of his own accomplishments and titles. Basically, he's a streamer. He streams his life. He started a so-called non-profit organization called Feet Peace. In his Feet Peace story, he reveals how he triumphed over obstacles and fought for survival.
And I invented what's called Feet Peace. Feet Peace started out as a desire to start a nonprofit.
This kind of message is all about, you know, the positive effects of organic food and how important it is to not eat anything but organic because it literally saved Jim's life.
But Feet Peace is just one part of the puzzle. At this time, James streamed hours long on the internet with his girlfriend Caitlin. Caitlin was a deeply religious girl who was deceived into a relationship with James. He isolated her from her very religious family and made sure that they never had any contact. James has manipulated Caitlin, emotionally, verbally, and physically.
You are in a cycle. I'm not abusing you anymore. You are done putting me in a position of control where you get to abuse me like your father in his privacy. Fuck you. You can say fuck me too all you want, but that's all you're doing is trying to fuck me. So fuck off. Or grow up. Because I deserve better. And you're gonna do better, you're gonna be better, or you're gonna fuck off. And join all your poor asshole friends who are crazy motherfuckers who want their pills, their welfare, and their Walmart food. Got it? Laugh all you want. You think I'm sabotaging myself. I'm not. I feel bad for them. So I'm gonna give them a life that they can be entertained by because I care. While you just shit on me like they do. You deserve to be poor.
She felt trapped in the relationship with a mentally unstable man who live streamed every aspect of his life to his very small audience, begging for money, donations, and food.
You don't have health care as a foster child? I have no idea how that works. I had health care, but it got revoked. It officially got revoked as of the 31st.
Which is ridiculous.
Because I need my pills. They're due on the 6th of the month. For a few months there where I was suicidal and I didn't have a job, I was on what's called cash assistance and SNAP benefits. So they gave you money for food and cash for living. And so I was living off of that.
Yeah.
And I didn't need much to live. You guys know how I am. And so I was living off of that. And then whenever I started up Feed Peace again, started making Super Hearts, I went and I retracted it. I quit the program. Lo and behold, when I quit the program, they didn't only retract my services for public assistance, for cash assistance and SNAP benefits, but they canceled my health insurance without. They weren't supposed to touch my health insurance. They canceled my health insurance.
Yeah, if we were actually told that it wouldn't mess
that
with
wouldn't be a fact, and that's what
at
I asked.
all.
I asked that specifically. You can take everything as long as I have an effing phone and internet service. I'm not going away. End of story. Guys, I want you to share the crap out of this. I no longer have health insurance. Let's fix that. Share this on Facebook. Share this on Twitter. Tell the world about Feet Peace. We are spreading positivity through our online sources. This is real. This is tangible. This is love. STL, my health insurance was canceled. Somebody, one of the haters must know somebody in the health insurance department or in in the public assistance office because my health insurance was canceled. I spoke with my fiance and we will help. We sold our house and bought another and have a lot left. This is wrong. Braxton. Thank you, Braxton. I don't know what you're talking about, but I appreciate it. We appreciate anything. Share this on Facebook, share this on Twitter, because right now, YouTube is the only monetization formation that's possibly gonna get us money that I can get my medication. Unless you wanna give it another way, we have another way you can help, but you have to hit me up personally. We can't talk about it here on YouTube or else bad things will happen.
His abusive behavior is a reoccurring pattern, particularly in how he publicly treats his girlfriend. He constantly belittles her, saying she deserves to be poor, but it goes much further. He even mentions people who rule his life and claims he will purposefully make them pay. Is this rational behavior?
Hi, we're in the middle of a workday. Vacate the premises or we will be calling the police. We are in the middle of our workday. Please vacate the premises or we will be calling the police. Thank you and have a great day. Do not return. Welcome to Feet Piece means enjoy the show. It does not mean anything else. It doesn't mean that you are permitted on our property. No. It doesn't mean you get to bring food to our door like a fucking psychopath saying that's because you care, but really, you are a mass manipulator, a murderer, and an absolute abuser. Because you don't have to kill somebody to kill them. Trust me, I'm living with someone who was killed. And she's bringing herself back to life. Him, her, and me. Well, guess what? We're not the Walking Dead. He is. I am calm and I am clear. Jeffrey Suzuki and all of the Suzuki family. Unwelcome for good. Never show up no matter the problem, the solution, anything. You are not part of the resolution in any way, shape, or form. Is that my decision or yours?
I think that's our decision.
Boom!
He believes he's entitled to everything, and that he should be the one to punish others for their wrongdoings.
And keep breathing, keep meditating, because the comments will come in eventually about the conversation we just had. And when they do, you must be emotionally prepared to do the right thing, because if you don't, I'll be forced to take down the live stream. I'm not going to remove it from the internet because it hasn't gotten bad. It was just reproofing.
Yeah.
But it will get bad because inappropriate people will get involved. Okay. So I will have to, once again, put my job down for the sake of your comfort.
Okay.
All right? I'm trying to do my job. You're trying to learn how to do this together. But there's only so much of this that I can maintain for the sake of my own mental health, which I am officially putting first, even before your comforts.
Yeah.
I have feelings too.
It's evident in his speech that this is not a normal way of communicating with your partner. These words were directed at Caitlin, who often appears off-screen while he yells and scolds her, calling her a liar and questioning her mental state. Simultaneously, he presents himself as a saint, logical, truthful, and honest. He runs his so-called non-profit organization called Feet Piece, claiming it to be the most positive community in the world. It is 100% a scam. It's not a legitimate non-profit. He uses it as a facade to deceive gullible and vulnerable people into donating and thinking he is a much better person than he really is.
California's expensive. If I send you a Patreon, do you get it instantly? It comes through once a month, I believe on the 1st of the month. You guys let me know. But we have to build a steady income to be able to use it. So many people reach out to me and they're like, what's your Venmo, or what's your Square, or what's your PayPal? I'm like, look, we're trying to build a steady income and put it through my business. So, because we have a legitimate business. So, business LLC. So, like, we want to put it through that, and we want to do it through Periscope Super Hearts or through Patreon. Why don't you use Apple Pay? It's just that, like, we deal with too much crap from people. Glad she's feeling better. Thank you. It's just there's people that want to cause problems who don't like seeing us make money. And it just causes issues, so we just don't use them.
James has a knack for luring in vulnerable individuals, like Josh. He brainwashes them and assumes control over their thoughts and actions. James will then exploit them and drain them of all of their cash and any other means they have. Josh recently freed himself from 2 toxic relationships. He's a war vet. He's finally moved on and embraced a more positive outlook. However, James seems to believe that he has moved on from everything, as if the past no longer matters. He berates Josh on live streams, despite the fact that Josh is the one who covers all of the bills, including James' debts. He's going bankrupt just to support James and take care of his life. The dynamic between Kate, Josh, and James was very unhealthy. James tried to dismiss any concerns about his own health by blaming it on some thyroid problem. He claims that he's overweight due to this issue, but in reality, all of them are more or less malnourished. It was disheartening to see how Josh was willing to become someone he's not, just to feel important or to seek revenge, even mirroring James' own twisted way of talking. Now, James' girlfriend Kate became pregnant, and James had a plan for the 2 of them to walk across the country, begging for money and donations along the way. Then a miracle happened. James got arrested.
We stumbled upon the makings of a cult, I think.
Rogers County deputies arrest a man accused of beating his pregnant wife, but they quickly learned that victim had been missing from Pennsylvania for 3 years.
Craig and Lori, in these videos posted to social media, Saroka repeatedly yells and cusses at the victim, calls her names, and berates her. Investigators say Saroka completely cut her off from the outside world, but because of Oklahoma law, Saroka is only in jail on a misdemeanor.
Mental and emotional abuse that he has, he's exposed her to, and the whole way he's just been digging his hooks into her deeper and, brainwashing her.
Deputies say a witness saw Saroka beating on his pregnant wife as they were walking along Highway 20 in Claremore on Sunday. When deputies got there, Saroka refused to talk to them, and the victim kept asking Saroka for permission to talk. That's when deputies knew something was wrong and say she showed signs of battered women syndrome.
It's a textbook example of it. She's afraid of talking to the outside world. She's has no control over the finances. She has no control over what she can do or where she can go.
Deputies later learned the victim's family had been searching for her for the last 3 years. They say Saroka and the victim have been traveling around the country, living in hotels.
As a prosecutor, it's hard when you see what we consider to be violent crimes that are classified nonviolent, and domestic abuse on a pregnant woman is a perfect example of that.
Now, there has been a movement on social media to get Saroka completely removed from the internet. Now, the maximum punishment Saroka faces is up to 1 year in county jail and a fine. Now, I have reached out to the jail staff to ask Saroka for an interview, but he declined that request.
So from here, we'd like to wrap it up and say all's well that ends well and justice has been served. Unfortunately, it's just not that clear-cut. James served a very short period of time in prison and has since been released. He's returned to social media and is streaming. Some of his live streams are up to 9 hours long. He's homeless. He's jobless. He has no prospects, no money, no girlfriend, and continues to call Kate his fiancée. Upon his release, he tried to scam numerous local churches, and upon failing, returned for a short period of time to stay with his family. Here's a short clip from James Saroka's sister's live stream.
Check out my last post. My brother Jimmy was here for under a week. It's ridiculous. Like, I've been harassed a lot because of being his sister. And he is a pretty bad guy. I mean, he is my brother, so I thought I'd try to help him. I mean, I tried, but he's not changeable. He went back to his old ways, so I kicked him out immediately, as soon as I saw it. He started up his controlling behavior. He even took my closet door off, rearranged my apartment without asking me. It was not good. It ended very badly, and him telling me that I'm going to lose my apartment and that my day is over. Him telling me I should be afraid of him. I'm not one bit afraid of him or the people that harass me. That's what I get for having a kind heart and not wanting my brother to sleep in the street even though he's a piece of trash, I still tried to help him. He said to me if I kick him out, things are going to get worse than they were before. I got a text after he left saying from somebody, "We have all your shit now." And you're on Jimmy's #1 hit list of enemies. One moment of weakness is all it takes to almost get completely fucked over.
So it seems that nothing has changed for our friend James Saroka. He's still broke, he's still grifting, he still thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm very happy that Caitlin has a restraining order against him because he still seems to refer to her as his fiancée. Before we wrap it up, let's take a narc alert look at some of James' most recent live streams of the past couple of weeks. Has he changed, or is he still showing us pretty severe traits of narcissistic personality disorder? Let's dive right in.
They say you go. They say you speak to underage. I go, no, they're 18. And they go, no, they are foreign. They are underage. 18. And then I say, and then they say, underage. And I say, jealous. I'm jealous of my beautiful Jessica, of all of my foreign beauties.
I am unsure what this odd racist commentary is about, and more startling is his saying others are jealous of his underage women. What is he on about?
Yes, it is 5:30, and the sign says that the lobby opens at 5. So I'm just like chilling and waiting, kind of. And she kind of just like came and like fixed the sticker on the window and then just like nonchalantly walked away. Like they're like waiting for me to ask them, but instead I'm just gonna put it in front of hundreds of people that they're not open when they're supposed to be, like literally an hour late, and then just let my phone die and then go in there and charge it and like do this stuff later.
James is homeless and streams for hours from donut shops and parking lots. He feels entitled to get in the shop and charge his phone. He's upset that they are not opening at the time on the sign. His grandiosity thinks that they are aware of him and they're playing some sort of game.
But like for real, guys, I need to get like shoes because like when I tell you, yeah, I almost did. I almost ended up with gangrene on my foot just from like, this is fucking ridiculous. This is so insane. It's not even fucking funny. Like just like, I mean, how fucking psychotically apathetic people are to each other nowadays is like unfathomable. I mean, it really is.
Narcissists have a strong desire for others to cater to their needs, fulfill their wishes, and provide constant attention and validation. They expect others to prioritize their wants and desires above their own, and they may become upset or angry if their expectations are not met.
Like, how far people go to not do stuff for people, and they're like, you know, they're like, I don't kill people, I don't hurt people, I don't, you know, like, I don't make people's lives worse. Like, no offense, but you are an actual psychopath when you see somebody getting like super fucked up or like their shit's getting and like they're dying and you're just not doing shit. Like, you are an accomplice. Just letting you know, like, there is something you could fucking do that doesn't cost you money and you just let them fucking start falling off and dying. You are a piece of shit. You really are.
Although he is couching his comment to appear vague and about humanity in general, it is clear James is upset. No one is helping him more.
It doesn't take much to just say like, hey, here's the 11 donuts since you're stuck here till 1 o'clock in the morning and you obviously want to shoot yourself in the face. Like, I let the security guard have my donuts because he's fucking suicidal. And then he helped me like charge my phone.
Narcissists often engage in storytelling that's designed to make themselves look good or enhance their image. They may manipulate the narrative, exaggerate their achievements, downplay their flaws, or even fabricate stories altogether. James wasn't giving out of a generous spirit. It was quid pro quo. He needed his phone charged.
And, like, he's not okay. You know what I mean? And so like I was there for him for like 5 seconds, and it didn't take me shit. It didn't cost me anything. I let him be there for me too, you know, like if I gave him donuts, he helped me charge my phone. But like he needed that, you know, like I could have been a dick when I saw how miserable he was, and just been like he was really nice too, you know what I mean? Like the type of suicidal that was is nice to people. I could have been a jerk, like so many people are. Like if you are that way, you are a horrible person, and I kind of just hope that you die, or like I really hope that just something gets fucked up for you that you learn, or like I don't know, just somehow you miraculously become a better person.
Narcissists are skilled manipulators who often use storytelling as a means to manipulate and control others. They can shape narratives to manipulate the emotions, opinions, and behaviors of those around them, furthering their agenda and maintaining a sense of superiority.
Because we have too many people on this planet that honestly do not belong here. That just like don't deserve to be here, just because they're like just such bad people. But I hope you become a better person. I really do. Like I don't know how miserable people stay alive. Like when I'm like in the times that I've ever actually been miserable, those are the times that I've been suicidal. Like miserable, like being a bad person, being a mean person, screwing people over. Like that's the only times that I've ever been depressed or suicidal. It's when I'm like doing what most people do on a daily basis to each other. I can't do it.
People with traits of NPD often exhibit a sense of moral superiority, believing that they are inherently better than others and have a higher moral standing.
I'm what I call normal. People say that I'm weird. I honestly look in the mirror every day and I'm like, I really think that this is how people are supposed to be. And like, the world sucks because people are just so stupid in the way that they're selfish. Like they're not selfish the right way. You know what I mean? Like, but whatever. Good for you. Glad that you're standing up to them. Thank you, Freddie. Yeah, thank you. It's tough. Like, for those of you that do have like a healthy background, regular life, you're in college. I'm supposed to be with my master's degree right now, and I freaking fell in love with a fraudster. I fell in love with a criminal.
Blaming others for their own failures is a common behavior exhibited by narcissists. They have difficulty accepting responsibility for their mistakes or shortcomings, and instead shift the blame to others.
God's honest truth. I'm not a saint. I'm not perfect, but I'm not a freaking undercover criminal either. Okay, I'm not fake. I don't have to use bravado to make myself feel better about some of the choices I make. If I make tough choices, I'm comfortable with them because I have to make them. But you don't see me freaking. So like I said, I got duped one last time, but like I'm a college guy. Like I'm still gonna go to college. I'm going to do it. Like it's not gonna not happen. And it's not. And I refuse these frickin', you know, these how they say it. You know, oh well, yeah, you're going to college at your age, so you know, it's good for you that you got back into school. No, I got my head dunked under the water and held under there for years. Yeah, so I had my head held underwater for years, and constantly taken advantage of, and I'm supposed to be a regular guy who currently is working on my PhD.
Blaming others is a tactic that narcissists use to gaslight and manipulate those around them. By shifting the blame onto others, they can undermine the credibility and self-confidence of their targets. This manipulation tactic serves to maintain their power and control in relationships.
God, I hate myself right now. Oh, that sucks. Somebody come get me. I guarantee you there's at least like 15 people from this area watching me right now. And they should come pick me up. Why is my dick hard? I don't know. I don't know. Not asking, not doing anything about it. My body has been doing things that don't make any sense to me. I'm just like, we're gonna go with it. Message me if you want to be. I don't chase people. If you guys want me on your team, hit me up. I'm an alpha. Like, I'm the alpha of alphas. You will not fucking, like, I accomplish the impossible for free. So you are not gonna get me to join your cult. You want me on board? Fucking, you come to me.
Relying heavily on external validation is the best way for a narcissist to maintain their sense of self-worth. They seek validation from others to fill an internal void and boost their self-esteem. The more they are desired by others, the more they feel special.
And send a woman. You better fucking send one of your women, and she better be good. She better be good at it and actually want me. And if that happens, if and only then, maybe I might consider it. If I get a wife out of the deal or a girlfriend out of the deal, I might have an interest. But it needs to be a woman that legitimately has an interest in me. But then I might. Because then we can like partner up, make extra money, and I also don't have to be lonely.
Thank you all for joining me as we navigated the landscapes of these massive egos. Narcs truly never fail to narc. From the ugly to the influential to the criminal, these were 3 of the grossest examples of our male narcissists that we covered this year. Thank you all for joining me at this look into the ugly men of narcissism. If you like the video, please click like and subscribe. Grab a membership, get in the Discord. Rio and I can't wait to see you in there. Thank you for your support all year. And until we meet again, please be kind. And hasta luego.